And hello YouTube, this is GS Man Smart, and I'm here with a brand new video for Gaming with GS, and today is a day where I have finally finished my Ascended armor on Guild Wars 2. As you can see, we have our Berserker Zoja's armor set stats, power, precision, ferocity. I also have ready my, hey, why is it not working? Well, I have my rings and amulets, so I don't know why it's being weird right now. Don't know, but I have my amulet and rings as well right here. I'm just missing my backpack here and my 2 earrings, and then I'll be fully ascended out. And I'm missing my weapon as well. As you'll notice, though, I changed my colors from gold and purple to blue and white. So, and if you notice as well, I'm using the Priory armor set. I use my transmutation charges to get these. Originally, how the armor originally looked like, I really didn't like how it looked like. It looked like this. And, you know, I just like the traditional wizard look. I didn't really like this look. It wasn't very wizardy to me. So I just transmutated everything into Priory clothes, and I like this look a lot. So, today I'm going to be showing you how to craft your Ascended gear. Sort of a little guide, you know. I made a little notepad note on all the materials you will need. Unfortunately, this is only, well, unfortunately the notepad note that I have, which is right here. A lot of this pertains to light armor tailorers only. However, a lot of this is similar to all other classes. I would say a good 40%, maybe 50%. Is similar to the other professions. So if you have no idea how Ascended crafting works, if you have no idea how to get to 500 crafting, then this is still a great video for you because I'm going to be talking about all of that. So first of all, let me show you 500 tailoring I am, and as you'll see, a lot of these, well, everything that you have to craft is 500. You have to be 500 to craft your Ascended gear, your full Ascended gear into 500. However, a lot of the things you need for the Ascended gear is only 450, as you see here. The Obsidian Refinement is only 450, Ectoplasm Refinement is only 450, and regular Refinement is only 450 as well. So, yeah, you can do a lot at 450. So what I recommend is at least get to 450 crafting, and then perhaps the rest of this can boost you to 500. If not, though, there's a backup plan you can do. And in fact, to get to 450 crafting, you actually want to do what I'm about to say now, which is also the backup plan for if you're not 500 yet. So if you're at 400 and you want to get to 450 quick, or if you're stuck at 470 or 475 or 480 and need to 500, do the same thing that I'm going to be telling you right now. Step 1 of this entire process is to get your crafting to 500 or 450, but I just went to 500 because, you know, I was already at 450. I did regular crafting to 460, 470, and I was like, okay, well, now what do I do? So, get it to 450 or get it to 500. So what you want to do is do dungeons. Do plenty of dungeons, because what you're going to get is these dungeon tokens right here, such as the Ascalonian Tears here, or the Deadly Blooms, Symbols of Coda. Every single dungeon gives you different dungeon tokens. And when you get to about 180 of these, which is only about, like, I think maybe 3 dungeon runs, like 3 paths. So if you do, maybe even less, because, I don't know, because, yeah, maybe like 3 paths. Not sure. It's not a lot, though. It's really not that difficult. But once you have a certain amount of these dungeon tokens, then you can actually go to the dungeon token vendor, which is right here in Line's Arc, in this area right here. Closest waypoint is the Blood Coast Ward waypoint. You go here and you talk to this guy. You can actually turn in your dungeon tokens for exotic gear. Now, why do we want exotic gear? The reason why is because when we turn in our tokens for exotic gear, we can salvage this exotic gear for dark matter, which we're gonna need, globs of ectoplasm, which we're gonna need a lot of, and we're gonna get insignias. Now, I'll come back to the insignias in a little bit. if we scroll down here now, as you see here, this is a little more advanced list of what crafts into what. But at the very bottom, I have all the base materials you'll need. You're gonna need 30 dark matter and 72 globs of ectoplasm. This is for all crafting professions. If you're heavy armor, medium armor, light armor, you're gonna need 30 dark matter and 72 globs of ectoplasm. That's how much you're gonna need. So the reason why we are salvaging these exotics is just for that. To get globs of ectoplasms if you're short on them, and to get dark matter if you're short on them. If you're not short on them, you're still gonna need to do it because you're gonna be getting insignias. What I highly suggest you do is when you buy these exotic weapons or exotic armor pieces from the dungeon vendor with your dungeon tokens from doing dungeons, when you get these pieces of exotic items, what I highly suggest you do is get the highest salvage kit you have. If you have a Black Lion salvaging kit, it's perfect. If not, make a Mystic salvaging kit and it'll really help you out, because if you're using like a crude salvage kit or a basic or a fine, you're probably not going to get the insignia. It's a rare find. But with black salvaging kit, more than not, you're going to get it most of the time. And when you get these insignias, it makes it very easy to get to 500 crafting. The reason being is that at level 400 crafting, the only thing that really gives you experience at that level is exotic crafting. So especially for tailorers, there's not much you can craft. So exotic crafting is really the only way you can get to 500. And the sucky part about that is where the hell is the tailoring guy? I always miss him. Oh, there he is. The sucky part about crafting to 500 is that if you want to craft exotic stuff, then it's gonna cost you a lot of money, because this stuff is easy. Making coat lining, coat panel, this is easy. Everyone can do this. The hard part is, though, creating the intricate Gossamer insignia or the intricate inscription or whatever your profession uses. This is the hard part. Crafting this exotic inscription or insignia or whatever. And the reason why it's hard is because you need 5 globs of ectoplasm for each you make, and you need tier 6 materials. So that's why we're salvaging the dungeon gear, because they're gonna give us this inscription for free. Then all we need to make is the easy stuff here. Now what I highly recommend you do is you get a bunch of these insignias, get different kinds of these insignias, go to the dungeon vendor, buy different types of armor, salvage, get different insignias, and then when you have a good 13, 14, maybe 10 even, when you have a good 12, 13, 14, use a crafting booster, and then start making exotic gear right here. It will really boost your crafting to 500 really quickly. So that's kind of the deal with this. That's how you get your crafting to 500, and that's step 1. So yeah, craft exotics with the insignias. At the same time, you also want to start doing your. This is Ectoplasm Refinement, by the way. You also want to start doing your Obsidian Refinement and your Ectoplasm Refinement. Now, Ectoplasm Refinement you can only do once a day. And Obsidian Refinement you can do as many as you want. You're going to need to do it for all professions. All professions are going to need to do Ectoplasm Refinement, and all professions are going to need to do Obsidian Refinement. Ectoplasm Refinement is going to be a little different for each profession, but for the most part it's very similar. Obsidian Refinement is going to be the same for all professions. Now, what is Obsidian Refinement? If we type in Obsidian Refinement, this is it right here. You know all those Imperial stars you've been getting from dungeons and from silver wastes and from champion bags, and you know all the Dragonite ore you've been getting from silver wastes and from world bosses, and you know all the bloodstone dust you've been getting from like all over the place. You're gonna need these 3 items to make bloodstone bricks, to make Dragonite ingot, and to make Imperial stars. Along with this, you're going to need 100 of each to make 1. You're also going to need 2 obsidian shards, and you're going to need 10 of these. Now these you can buy from your master tailorer here, and for other professions it's going to be similar. You're going to need to buy it from this guy as well. I'm not sure if it's called the same thing, but you'll see it. It is the same thing. You're going to need those thermo, whatever it's called. What are they called? Thermocatalytic. So, thing is, you're gonna need 1,500 of these to make 15 of these, 1,500 of these to make 15 of these, 1,500 of these to make 15 of these. That means you're probably gonna need 90 obsidian shards. Now we scroll down here, you'll see that we need 1,500 dragon ore, 1,500 imperial fragments, and 1,500 piles of bloodstone dust. Now I should probably add on 90 obsidian shards. Now obsidian shards are easy to get. You can get them from silver wastes very easily, chest farming, or you can get obsidian shards from the Straits of Devastation. And if you go right here to the Cathedral of Glorious Victory, there's a karma merchant right here if you have this area claimed. If not, just switch maps. One of the maps will have it claimed. If you have this area claimed, then there'll be a karma merchant who sells you obsidian shards for karma. So that's what you're gonna need, and these you can buy from the Master Tailor. These you should have plenty of, these you should have plenty of, and these you should have plenty of. If not, start farming them. I just told you where you can get them from. Dungeons, world bosses, world versus world, PvP, and silver wastes. And the reason why we need 15 of these, if we scroll up here, we need 10 of them to make 5 lesser vision crystals, and we need 5 of each to make 1 vision crystal. This is part of our armor. So once you've created 15 of these, 15 of these, 15 of these, you're going to be thinking, okay, now what do I use these for? What you're going to need to use these for are for vision crystals, which are right here. The lesser vision crystal and the regular vision crystal. The thing is, these are level 500 crafting. So if you're crafting this stuff at 450, you're not going to be able to craft the vision crystal or the lesser vision crystal yet. So don't confuse yourself. Keep this stuff stashed. Keep it stored. Don't lose it. Don't destroy it on accident. So yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to get to 500 first, so I don't confuse myself. I can craft everything when I need to, because it gets messy. You need a lot of things. It really gets messy. So craft your 1 vision crystal and craft your 5 lesser vision crystals. I believe if you do your daily login rewards, at the very end here, you have a chance of getting a vision crystal. So if you're lucky, you can get that. But regardless, you're gonna need vision crystals, 5 lessers and 1 regular one. And you also need augur stones. These augur stones you can easily buy from the lady that stands at the Mystic Forge. She can sell you these for spirit shards, which are aka training points, or whatever they were called. So yeah, augur stones you're gonna need. You're gonna need, well, yeah, you're gonna need 6 of them. So you can buy that from the lady at the Mystic Forge. Once you have that done, you're kind of a third of the way there. You have your vision crystal, you have your lesser vision crystal. So that's step 1, basically, to do your obsidian refinement. Now step 2 is to do your ectoplasm refinement. However, the thing with this is that the ectoplasm refinement, you can only do 1 a day, and you're gonna need over 30 of them. So start doing it as early as you can. As early as you can. Because look, ectoplasm refinement. For tailorers, you're gonna need 36 of these. For other crafting professions, you're gonna need 36 as well, but probably a different kind of this. You're still gonna need ectoplasm. You're still gonna need the same amount of these, I think. I'm not sure. You're gonna need a lot. You're gonna need a lot of this, and you're gonna need the same amount of ectoplasm. So for tailorers, we need 100 bolts of silk for each of these. Remember, we need 36 of these. That's 3,600 bolts of silk. Multiply that times 3. You got a lot of silk scraps. In fact, if we scroll to the bottom here, in total, for all of your ascended gear, you need over 10,000 silk scraps. So save your silk scraps, because if not, you're going to need to spend a lot of money. This can easily go over 200 gold if you don't save your stuff. So, you can only make 1 of these a day, and you can only make 1 of these a day. You're going to need to make 6 spools of Elonian cord. For other crafting professions, you're probably going to need to make 6 of something else. So that's basically ectoplasm refinement. You can only make 1 a day. Do it as early as possible so you can get done as early as possible. Since we need 36 of these, it's going to take you minimum 36 days to craft your ascended gear. So you have time to gather a bunch of stuff. Just make sure every day you get it done. What I did is I had a good amount of these, but at one point in time I ran out of silk scraps. What I did was every night I did like one dungeon, 3 paths, and I got like around 4 or 5 gold. I used that 4 or 5 gold to buy 300 silk scraps to make the 100 bolt, and I already had the glob of ectoplasm already. So I could make one a day just off of the money I made off of 3 paths of a dungeon. So if you want to do that, you can do it as well. But one of these, you're going to need a lot of it. The other one, you're going to need a little bit of it. And the sucky part is, the one you're going to need a lot of happens to be the most expensive thing for tailorers. Because for this, you only need 6 of these. You only need 6 of these, and guess what? You need thick leather sections. And these, who gives a crap about these? These only cost like 11 copper on the TP, and we have a ton of these anyway. I already have 250 already. So, I mean, some of this stuff is really easy to craft. The other stuff is really hard to craft. So that's basically the Ectoplasm Refinement. That's step 2. And if we scroll down here, what are you going to need this for? You're going to need this for your Bolts of Damask, which is your main crafting material to craft the armor. For other professions, it's going to be something very important as well. But we need is 18 spools of silk weaving thread. That's what we need. As you see, in total, we need 1,800 bolts of silk, 3 silk scraps each. So once you actually have your Ectoplasm Refinement done, you have your thick Elonian cord, you have your silk. What was it called? It wasn't called silk. It was Spool of silk weaving. There we go. Spool of silk weaving. You're gonna need that for the base armor, and you're also gonna need it for, look at this, for your insignia. 36. You have 18 for the armor, 18 for the insignias. So once you have your Ectoplasm Refinement done, I would say this is probably the most annoying part of the entire thing. Because every day you have to come on, you can't miss a day, or you're basically wasting a day to create one of these. This is probably the most annoying part of the entire process. Creating 36 of these. Other crafting professions are probably going to have to create a bunch of another kind. So just be aware, this can be very annoying. And very costly as well. However, when you have Ectoplasm Refinement done, you're kind of halfway done. Yeah, right, halfway on. That sucks. Depends. If you have all the materials, you're pretty much 75% done. If you don't have the materials, then you're only halfway done. The reason why is because the next step is to create the crafty insignias. Now, you're going to need to craft the exotic insignias first to craft the Ascended Insignias. And you're going to need to gather a bunch of scraps. For tailors. For other professions, you're probably going to need to get a bunch of leather, or probably get a bunch of ore, or stuff like that. So, if we go to Insignia here, actually, let me just type in Zojas. Insignia here. You're going to need globs of dark matter, which remember we got from Salvage and Exotic. You should have plenty of these. You're going to need piles of crystalline dust. Since we need 6 of these, we're going to need 60 of these. Because we have 6 armor pieces, we need 6 insignias for each armor piece. So 60 of these, 30 of these, and you're going to need a good 18 bolts of damask. How do you make bolts of damask? Well, with your 18 spools of silk weaving thread that you got from Ectoplasm Refinement. As you see, everything sort of connects. You need silk to make bolts of silk, to make spools of silk weaving thread, with ectoplasm to make bolts of damask, to then make your insignia and base armor. Now, along with that, you're also going to need an exotic insignia of the same stat kind, meaning Zoja's is all about power, precision, and ferocity. You're going to need a Berserker's exotic for each. So you're going to need 6 of these kinds, 6 of the exotic type of insignias for the Ascended one. The sucky part about this is that it's going to take another 30 globs of ectoplasm and 30 tier 6 materials of the required type. This sucks because this is going to get expensive. Especially if you're looking for Berserker gear. Each one of these is about 75 silver or so. So it can get expensive. And it's costly. It really is. If you don't have the materials, it can get costly. If you have the materials, it's not that costly. So that's what we need. We need the intricate insignia. Once you have that done, you're going to need to start making your Bolts of Damask. Now, if anyone's wondering, The only thing that's daily, the only thing with a daily restriction is Ectoplasm Refinement. So you can literally just save all your materials, and when you have everything, you can craft everything. The only thing, the exception is the Ectoplasm Refinement, which is the ones that require this. You'll see it in your crafting profession under Ectoplasm Refinement. It's going to be under that. Whatever crafting profession you have, it's going to be under that. Just know, these are the dailies. You don't want to save materials because you're not going to be able to craft them all at once. You can't craft these all at once. Only once a day. Everything else you can, though. So, like I was saying, from there on, you're going to want to start to craft your Damask bolts. Which are right here. You're going to need 36 of these. We're going to be using 36 spools of silk weaving thread. You should have these already. Now the hard part is, for tailorers especially, it's difficult because you need 20 bolts of linen. In fact, if we scroll down to the bottom here, you need 1,440 linen scraps. Each of these is about 5 silver, so it sucks. You need a lot of these. If you don't have an easy way of getting them, then you're going to need to buy them all. However, I did make recent videos on how to find each of these scraps through farming or through a special technique. So, that's why I made those videos. Now is a great time to go back to them and watch them and learn how to get these scraps for farming, because you're going to need a ton of them if you don't have them. 20 bolts of wool, which takes 2 wool scraps each. And remember, this is just for 1 bolt of damask. You're going to need 40 wool scraps just for 1 of these. You're going to need 36 of these, which is why you need 2,000 wool scraps right here. So just be aware, it's a lot of stuff. This can get kind of annoying, but believe me, it's not as annoying as the Ectoplasm Refinement here. So that's what we're going to need for Bolts of Damask or whatever other Ascended material your profession requires, but it's pretty much going to require you to use your Ectoplasm Refinement and then 3 other materials. For tailoring and sturgeon materials, I think for armor smithing it may be like plat ore, iron ore, gold ore. Not really sure, I've never done it before. But it's similar to this. Then you can finally create your Bolts of Damask, which is right here. You're going to need to create 36 of these. So from there on, our Insignias are looking almost done. We've created the Bolts of Damask. Great. We have 18 of those. Now, realistically, you should have made 36. You're only going to need 18 for the Insignias. You're going to need 18 for the base armor. Now, if we go back to the Insignias, here we are. You're going to need to use your 18 bolts of damask, 3 each for 6. 3 times 6 is 18. You're going to need to use your insignias that you made, the exotic ones you made. And you're going to need to use 60 pounds of crystalline dust. If you don't have any crystalline dust, it's going to cost you 20 silvers each on the TP as of right now. It can get costly. So hopefully you have enough of these. I had enough of these. I only had to buy like maybe 10 or 20. You're going to need a total of 190, as it says here, 190. So just be aware of that. Globs of dark matter you should have from our exotic dungeon salvaging. So then you can make 6 of these, which is you're going to need 6 of these. After that, it kind of gets pretty easy because you have most of your stuff done already. Once you have your insignias done, you just need to craft the base armor, which for tailorers, it's damask armor. Now remember, we already have our bolts of damask. We already have our 36. Now remember those, well, you're also going to need to, well, remember that for tailorers, you also need, and this is for other professions too, some of these you just need bolts of damask, fine. But for other of these, you need Elonian leather squares. Right here. Now, like I was saying, there's going to be two main ascended material types. There's going to be bolts of damask, and there's going to be Elonian leather squares. For other professions, there's going to be 2 other types. One of these, you're going to need a ton of. In our case, lots of bolts of damask, and only a little bit Elonian leather squares. Both of these require Ectoplasm Refinement. We only need 6 of these, so we only need six of these Elonian leather cords. This is Ectoplasm Refinement right here. So we need to create 6 of these. In this case, we need to create 36 of these. Yeah, because 18 and 18. So we need 36 bolts of damask, but only 6 Elonian leather squares. The reason why is because only a few armor pieces require it, and the ones that do only require like 1 or 2. It's going to be similar to other crafting professions as well. So, create your lonely leather squares. This is going to be difficult at all. The main reason why is because if you're a tailor, you're probably not creating medium armor. And this is all medium armor. Leather stuff. Leather stuff is pretty cheap on the TP. And you should have plenty of it in your bank as well. I had most of this. If you want to get the numbers down, it's going to take you 180 coarse leather sections, 900 thick leather sections, and 360 rugged leather sections, and 360 thin leather sections. I honestly didn't have to buy any of this. I only had to buy maybe a few thick leather sections because I didn't have enough. But for the most part, you should have all of this. If not, looks like you're going to have to do some farming or buy off the TP. This stuff is not too expensive though. When you have your 6 of these created, or 6 of however many of the other professions you need, then you're pretty much done for the most part. The only sucky part is you should have your piles of crystalline dust already, because we need 190 of them, so you should have already have that under control. The sucky part is you're going to need 720 spools of Gossamer thread. This can easily be 5 gold, and you can only buy it from this guy. So there's no way of getting it cheaper, no way of farming it. You're going to have to use at least a good amount of gold. Now, in our case, it's spool of Gossamer thread. For other professions, it's going to be called something else, but it's still going to cost you 6 silver each. So this can be very costly. You need 720 of these. So start pressing this button 72 times, because that's how much you're going to need once you've come to this point. Unless you haven't already bought it already, because in total, you're going to need... Where is it here? I don't think I have it written down here, do I? Gossamer scraps.
Greetings.
Do I not have it written down here? Oh, here it is. You only need 1,740 spools of Gossamer thread in total. So 720 of these come from just the base armor creating. So if you haven't bought the 1,740 yet, then you're going to be buying another 720 right now. However, after that, you're pretty much almost done. From that point on, you can create each one of these, one for each. And then for armor smithing or for the medium leather working, it's pretty much going to be the same thing. You're going to need to create one of each of these. And here you're going to be using your Bolts of Damask and your lonely leather squares, or in other professions, you're going to be using your 2 main ascended material types. Once you create each one of these, you can finally get to the main crafting part where you just put everything together and watch it get created. Now remember, we still have our vision crystals. So what does that mean? How do we craft our real ascended gear? What you're going to need, if you wanted to create your robe, for example, your chest piece, you're going to need your coat lining, your coat panel, you're going to need your insignia, which will be Zojas in my case, right here, and you're going to need your vision crystal. So, if you want to create your chest piece, then you're going to need to use, I think chest piece uses the vision crystal, and all the other ones use the lesser vision crystal, because the chest piece gives the most amount of stats. I'm guessing that's how it goes. But just be aware, when you're going into your discovery, and when you're putting everything in, you're going to need at least one of these vision crystals. You're going to need your insignia. You're going to need your insignia here. In fact, here it is. To create one of these, you're going to need your 2 refinement type. Well, not your 2 refinement, your 2 parts for the armor piece. As you can see, for chest, we need the vision crystal, the regular vision crystal. For the other ones, you just need the lesser vision crystal. So you're going to need vision crystal, you're going to need your insignia, and you're going to need your 2 parts for the armor piece. That's how you create your ascended gear. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. If you'd like to have this list, especially for tailorers, I will post it in the description. If you're looking for a similar list, if you go on the wiki, and in fact, I think I can show you right now. I was going to use Microsoft Edge, but it's okay. If you go on the wiki, Ascended Gear. So if you're a light armor and you're doing tailoring, I will definitely post this list in the description with all the things that you need. However, for the other professions and other armor types, I would highly recommend you go on to the Guild Wars 2 wiki because here they sort of break it down for you. They don't break it down for you as much as I do. Like, I break it down for you really like the exact amounts of each ingredient you need, and I also break it down to for you like what is needed for each thing. Like, I break it down pretty easily for you. But the wiki does break it down for you a little bit, as you see right here. This is what tailorers need. This is what leather workers need. As you see, they also need bolts of damask. Oh, okay, I see. So I guess armor smithers do need bolts of damask. They just need less of it, but they need more of the steel ingots. But yeah, if you go to the wiki here, type in Ascended Armor, and you scroll down here, it'll tell you kind of what you need. It doesn't tell you everything exactly. Like, it doesn't break down what you need for Bolts of Damask. It doesn't break down what you need for Bloodstone bricks like my list does. But you can use my list as a reference, I guess. But as you see, most of this is pretty similar. You know, 120 of these, 30 of these, 6 of these. Everything is pretty much very similar and the same. So you can use this if you'd like. Ascended crafting can be difficult, especially if you don't have the materials. But if you have tons of money, then I guess it's pretty easy for you. But for the stat type, I would say, I mean, I used to run a Condi build before. I wore Condi exotics. So I was like, I'm not going to buy Condi. I'm not going to buy Berserker exotics. I'm just going to make Berserker Ascended while I'm at it. So I like it. It's definitely increased my damage by a lot. And I'm going to be trying to create the weapon next. When I have the weapon done, I will show you guys. Not now I can show you guys. See, I have my amulet done, and I have my rings done as well. When I finish my weapon, I'm going to show you guys a video for the Ascended weapon. This one is for Ascended armor, though. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. It can get a little confusing with Ascended armor. I remember sometimes when I started to do it, I was like, I need so much stuff. Let me organize myself. And I created this list. So definitely create a list if you like. It's very helpful. I apologize for those of you who are heavy and medium armor. You know, I didn't craft that armor, so I didn't make a list for it. But the wiki does have an efficient enough of a list. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was helpful to you. If you're new to this Ascended armor stuff, now you get to see the scope of it. Now you get to see how much stuff you really need. Realistically speaking, it's not that much. I would say the only thing that's really like a lot is the scraps. Like, the bolts of damask are so annoying to craft because you need so much silk, and it's really annoying. And the other annoying part is just the daily Ectoplasm Refinement. For the most part, it's not too difficult. I mean, if you have patience, then it should be very easy for you. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, definitely leave it in the comments below. I have a pretty good amount of knowledge on this subject because I've been, like, it took me like 2 months to make this. So I can pretty much tell you anything you need to know. That's pretty much it, guys. We'll see you guys next time. I'm going to be starting to make some tips, some like little tips and tricks videos for Guild Wars 2. And we're still going to be doing some gold videos. I have a gold video coming up soon for the other half of the silver waste. Remember, I made a silver waste video quite a while ago how to make gold. Well, now I have the other half of it done, the part that I didn't know since I wasn't very familiar with it. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. I hope that this video helped you out in any way. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It'll really help me out. If you didn't like it, you can leave a comment below as well and give some feedback. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them in the comments as well. And I usually try my best to answer those comments within the next 24 to 48 hours, depending on how busy I am. I also have plenty of other content on my channel about different gaming tutorials, as well as general gaming videos for Guild Wars 2, League of Legends, Minecraft, and any others that you may be interested in. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, check it out. And if you like what you see, you can subscribe too. Would really appreciate it. You can also check out my other channels and social medias as shown on the screen right now. And with that, thank you so much, everyone. And this is GS Man Smart. Now be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.